Hello and welcome to the Washington County Sheriff's Public Safety Training Center. I'm Joe Kirchum and I would like to take you on a little tour of this nice facility. Let's go inside. Good to see you. This is Sergeant James Uklich. He is in charge of the Field Training Officers Program. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm Sergeant James Uklich. I'm a supervisor in charge of the Field Training Evaluation Program for the Patrol Division at the Sheriff's Office. Basically, when you get hired, you're going to go through a pre-academy. After your pre-academy, you'll go to the state academy, which is 16 weeks. After that, you'll come back and you'll have a 17-week extensive on-the-job training where you'll have 3 5-week phases. Each phase will be with a different coach, or FTO that we call them. And then your last phase is 2 weeks where you're on what we call a checkout status, which is where you basically show that you can perform the duties of the deputy sheriff all on your own without any help or guidance. And during that part of the phase where you're on the field training with myself, that's where I will be majority supervising you and having that contact with you.
Wow, that's a lot of good training. Thank you for sharing, Sergeant.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be moving from the lobby into the secure training area. We're gonna head into classroom 1 here. And this is one of our 3 identical classrooms. The cool thing about this classroom is this wall can either be taken down or left up, meaning we can either have this as one classroom singular, or we can open up the wall and have 3 combined classrooms to make one large classroom. Up front, we have state-of-the-art technology. We have a screen up here, which gives a little bit sharper image, along with our nice drop-down projector screen. This gives us the ability to do all kinds of training, whether PowerPoints, whether live streaming video. And the very cool thing that I really like about these classrooms, is very unique, is what we have in the back of the room. And that's the presenter screen. So the presenter can come up here and teach the class without having to turn their back towards their audience by looking at the presenter screen on what material they're talking about. We also have a nice alcove in the back for refreshments so that our students can stay plugged in throughout the whole training day. As we continue on this tour, you'll see the 2 classrooms I was just mentioning. One here and one here. As we continue down the hallway, we have a state-of-the-art break room where you can put your lunch, eat up your lunch, rest, relax, and recover in between the training day. Also down here at the hallway, on the right, is where our training officers are. This is where a lot of the training takes place as far as planning and procedural stuff. Once we pass the instructor room through the double doors, we come to one of our 2 indoor ranges. Let's go in and talk to Range Master Corporal Dan Mulick about the range.
Hi, I'm Dan Mulick, Corporal here with the Sheriff's Office and Western Oregon University graduate. Inside our range, we have 2 ranges, one with 14 turning targets and one with 9. Inside our ranges, we have a 50-yard bay that allows us to shoot at extended distances. We also have reactive targets that allow you to make decisions on whether you're going to shoot or not shoot. We have lateral mover targets that you can see behind me. They move back and forth to allow us to practice shooting a moving target. And then we have targetry that can charge at you, also allowing you to make decisions. What makes this range so great is we have adjustable lighting controls so that we can bring the lights to a dim, dusky look, or completely dark or completely black. We also have acoustic pep on the sidewalls that allows us to keep the range as quiet as possible without disturbing the neighbors. We have been granted permission to train 24 hours a day because it does not change the noise level outside this facility. One more thing that makes our range so advantageous to us is it allows us to use all the weapon systems and calibers that we have here at the Sheriff's Office, to include 9mm all the way up to 50 BMG. If you don't know what that is, that would be the caliber commonly used on a military Humvee. That's what makes this range so great, all those features. Please continue your tour with Deputy Joe Kirchum in the classroom.
Thank you, Corporal Mulick, for explaining the range. Let's go into the classroom. Classroom 4 here is designed to clean and maintain firearms. We have special equipment to check out. We have special hoses on site here to air out and clean your firearms. This is specifically designed for maintenance, cleaning of firearms, which is why it's located right across the range. Now let's head back into the main part of the building where we're gonna go through the safety check area. This is one of the most critical areas of the facility, because our goal here is to do reality-based training, but in order to do that, we need to be safe. So only instructors have mag access to enter this room. Once you've entered this room, you have to put any live ammunition, firearms, or weapons into a locker to stow away. For once training is complete, you will come back and retrieve these items. So my firearm is gonna go in the locker, my spare magazine, my knife, and then I'm gonna make sure prior to getting into the safety check area to be patted down that I have no other live ammunition, firearms, or any edged weapons or anything that would do or hurt anyone. So all I got left on me is cell phone, some keys, and a wallet, and my flashlight. I'm gonna take my key with me. I'm now gonna go in the second part of our safety check area. This is where a certified instructor is only allowed to pat you down. This ensures no one is bringing anything into our safe area. This is Deputy Ryan King. He'll be conducting my pat down today. We always check ourselves, regardless, even though I am an instructor. I got a flashlight, cell phone, wallet, and some keys, and my handcuffs. He's gonna check me thoroughly to ensure, once again, I'm not bringing any live ammunition. We just came from the range. There's a flashlight here, which is fine to bring in. It's not an edged weapon. And we'll use flashlights in some of the training we do. Once I have been completely checked by the certified instructor, they're gonna give me a piece of tape. This is gonna identify me once I get into the safe zone that I have been safety checked and I can be in here. The last part of our safety check area is our red line. You do not go past this without having a certified staff member let you beyond this point. You have to be mag keyed into the safe area. Once safety checked, we're gonna make our way to the mat room. This is where we conduct our physical skills. Deputy King is gonna go a little bit more in depth on what we do here in the mat room.
So here we are in the mat room. So in here, we're able to do a lot of dynamic, unique things. You see we have both gray and black side mat. We're able to bring in recruits for in the initial part of their training where the rubber really meets the road, where they're able to really apply everything that they've learned up to this point. In here, we also will use the bobs here, the striking bobs. They'll go over strikes, covers. They'll also go over a ground fighting portion that we instruct through the Recruit Academy. We also conduct in-service training here, where our already certified staff does our annual training 4 times a year that we do here. A couple unique things about this room is we're able to slide it in half. We're able to cut it in half. So when we have recruits come through here, we have a test out skills day. And so we want to cut the room in half so we can bring one student on one side with role players, another student on the other, so they can't see what the scenario may be. And so we're able to shut this down like that and conduct 2 different scenario-based training in the same venue. Another really dynamic thing about this place is we have 2 different closets that are located for both sides. In here, you'll find that we have all the gear that we need. We have our extra bobs that you can see are already out on the mats. On the other one, we're also able to have all of our gear that all the students need. In here, we also have our boxing gloves. We have baton for our baton training. We have what we call shark helmets, striking pads, and a radio every now and then when we want to kind of crank up the stress on recruits. In here, they're also able to go over all the different things and learn how to use their belt, you know, that duty belt where they can draw and use their baton, their taser, OC handcuffs, and put all of that training together. And so we have them ready to go out on patrol or the jail when they're ready to be released to work.
After the mat room, we're gonna head down towards kind of the big area of the facility. And that's where our mock jail is in Scenario Village. This is also why it's very important that we do a proper safety check, because now we're gonna go into possibly realistic training. And this is where Scenario Village and the mock jail meet. Ryan's gonna go ahead in and start in the mock jail and do some training. Something that's very unique to the Sheriff's Office and unlike anything else in the Northwest is our mock jail. This jail is set up to mimic exactly what you would see in a normal pod in the jail and gives us the most realistic training that any agency can offer here in the Northwest. This is a gem amongst rocks.
Jones, come over the door and cuff up. Jones, come over here. We need the weapon out of your cell. If you do not comply with these orders, we will come to the cell, get the weapon, and search your cell. Do you understand that? We may use less lethal force, up to and including chemical and impact injuries. Do you understand?
Hey, Deputy King.
Hey, Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing well. What kind of training you guys got currently going on here?
So what we have is we have our CERT team, which is our Corrections Emergency Response Team.
Oh, wow.
They're doing some cell extraction walkthroughs and training right now. The scenario that we have right now going on is an inmate has a weapon in their cell and they're refusing to give it up. They're refusing to cuff up at the cuff port compliantly. And so when that happens, we have to go in and use force to remove that person from that from the cell. And so we're able to get a real world reality-based training aspect out of this.
Yeah, that sounds like it could be potentially dangerous and pretty dynamic.
Oh, it is. And that's the great thing about this facility, this mock jail.
Yeah.
We have 11 cells.
Oh, wow.
And it's really built to scale, about a third of a housing unit. The cells are all built to scale. The doors are all to scale, the stairwell, I mean, everything. The really neat thing about this also is we have an open day room here.
Yeah.
We have a deputy station. And I can show you the other things about this that make this place really
Awesome.
Really,
Thank you.
really
yeah,
impressive.
Let's go take a look.
Yeah. So we have our vestibule doors here that mock up an entry to our facility or to
Oh,
a
yeah,
housing
like
unit.
you have to go from the exterior to get into
Yes.
the pod?
Yeah, it's really great for our training aspect.
Very cool.
In here we have what we call open waiting. Not quite to scale, but it is really impressive. We have holding cells here where we can do more scenarios, such as you saw with the CERT team. We can also take our line staff, not CERT team members, but just already our corrections deputies, and we can put them through scenarios, and we can also put them through the same scenario that you just saw right there at the CERT team.
And this is a similar setup, just like in the jail.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Again, to scale.
Very cool.
With our holding cells, we have everything in here is exactly what you'll see in the actual jail over the sheriff's office.
Yeah, you can't get much better than that.
No, and so here is what we call the open waiting. In here is what we have is called the intake area.
Okay.
And this is where arresting deputies or our outside agencies will bring in what we call a hot arrest, and we can start the whole process of booking someone in the intake.
Yeah.
And we can set them down on the bench, which is just what we do in the jail.
Yeah.
We have our booking counter. We have a mock computer. We have the mock wall where we take the mug shots, and we can do everything right here. But the great thing is, with this entire training facility, we can start scenarios with new recruits and already certified staff. We can bring them in. The patrol deputies can do what they're doing out there in Scenario Village or out on that evac pad. They can come in and we can continue on with the scenario with our jail deputies.
Oh, wow.
And start them through the entire booking process.
Yeah.
And then as instructors, we're able to create the scenario as we want. We can have somebody super compliant right now, and by the time they get into the booking process, they're still compliant. And then maybe as they get into the housing unit,
Sure.
then they can be
Oh,
not too
yeah.
happy.
Bet.
Yeah,
Bet
so-
you guys deal with that stuff a lot.
Yeah, we do. But the great thing is this place does give us an incredible ability to have reality-based training. True, actual scenarios that are pretty much how they go.
Well, that's cool. Well, Ryan, we appreciate your time
Absolutely.
and the insight and looking at this jail pod. It's
Yeah.
very cool, and it's a great place to train.
Absolutely.
Wow, that was impressive. Now let's take a look at our beautiful Scenario Village here. Something unique about the Scenario Village, unlike others in the state, is we actually have a building that you can provide 360-degree training around. Meaning I can have vehicles drive around, I can set up a containment, I actually have something I can set up 360 degrees around and train. That's very unique. Most buildings don't have that. They're only two-dimensional, or they don't have access to the back. This building and these buildings here all are set up to incorporate all the training needs or things that you would see out in the real world. We have our grocery store or storefront. We have our apartment complex or hotel front. Multi-room building and several other residential buildings, all making that training as realistic as possible. Because that's the goal. The more we invest in the individual, the better result at the end of the day. Let's go outside now and take a look at our beautiful track. Once you leave the south end of Scenario Village, we make our way out here to this beautiful track. Oh, and there's Deputy Rob Richards. He's our Emergency Vehicle Operations Coordinator. Hey, Rob, can you tell us a little bit about the track here and what we do?
Absolutely. As you kind of make this transition from Scenario Village out onto our Evo pad, this transition, being able to use both of them gives us the opportunity to train not only on the pad, but also to bring vehicles inside the building and run scenarios. Maybe somebody's ran and we've got to run containment, but we can do stuff like that. So, but out here on the pad, we have 4 acres of asphalt, just a little over, that gives us just plenty of space to, so far, to do everything we need.
Yeah.
Out here on the pad, we focus a lot on cone courses. Cone courses give us good practice in backing.
Is that what you got set up right here, is the corn course?
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully here in a little bit, we'll be able to show you some of what we got out here with cars. But,
Okay.
it gives us the opportunity to practice our backing. Backing and slow speed parking lot issues seem to be where we have a lot of our crashes, so to say, incidents. So it allows us to work on those. Evasive maneuvers, lane changes, responding to calls. Driving is the most dangerous thing we do on a daily basis. So with this great facility, we have the opportunity just to train the heck out of it. It's pretty exciting out here.
Well, thank you, Deputy Richards, for sharing
Absolutely,
that.
absolutely.
Let's go take a look at some of what we can do here on the track.
Yeah, we have a couple, well, 3 cars sitting out here. 2 of our cars are pit cars. So with these pit cars, we're able to train pits up to 35, 40 miles an hour on this pad.
Oh, wow.
With pit being a pursuit intervention technique.
Okay.
So these cars are bumpered up just for damage and training, but pursuit's high liability, high speed, pretty dangerous activity that we want to get stopped. And so by initiating a pit maneuver on a fleeing suspect, we're able to spin the vehicle out, stop the vehicle, and apprehend the suspect. So,
Very cool, very cool.
we have the space to train it, and it's pretty exciting.
Awesome, excellent. Oh, well, hello there. Thank you again for joining us on this wonderful tour of our beautiful facility. Please go to joinwcso.com. We hope to see you soon. Now back to training.